Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good evening. It's like 7 o'clock at night. Uh, thanks for, popping on and checking out the Chakra Embodiment program. For those of you who are alumni or have gone through the program, I've been doing this since 2008. And just keep in mind that this is a great time to do a reboot. Um, this program never leaves you, or at least it doesn't have to. It certainly doesn't leave me. I've been doing different versions and different iterations of the chakra embodiment program since I started doing it in 2008. And the reason why I love it so much is just it really grounds me into my body. It makes me mindful about what I'm eating. It connects me to the world that I'm in through a spiritual lens. So that way I can kind of work through the chaos and the stress of a normal life and reframe and rephrase the thoughts that are coming into my mind so that way I can send out positive energy for myself. And if I'm having a bad day, I can still understand it and use the tools that I have to turn that around. And so, for those of you that are new and have never done this before, the chakras are seven energetic centers that are in our body. And really, they're a foundation, they're a groundwork for all of the spiritual work you're ever going to do, whether you take Reiki or any kind of spiritual in program. They are going to mention chakras. And so when I was first starting my spiritual journey in 2008, I was asking myself, what's a chakra? And I couldn't really see energy the way that I can now. And at the time, I was just trying to grasp it. I came from a theater background, Stanislavski and Meisner, and in that background, you become the character. And so I thought, well, why don't I become the chakra? And it's really turned into a lifelong program for me where I use the chakras as an energetic system. And they each have messages or affirmations. They have colors, they have sounds, they have frequencies, they have foods. And I use these tools to keep my heart as a compass and to use that in my spiritual journey and in everyday life. Because let's face it, it's great. We are all spiritual and we're at the top of our game when we're in a class and we're um, by ourselves meditating, but it's the cooking the dinner, it's dealing with the kids, it's crazy coworkers and spouses and mother-in-laws and all of this stress that pops into our life, and we still want to be spiritual and embodied in our healing journey, even in those chaotic life moments. So I use the chakra embodiment as a way to focus my energy so I can stay grounded, and use it as a compass, essentially. And the way that I continue to do it the most is through food. So when each chakra has foods that go along with it, and it's a natural detox if you go from the root chakra to the crown chakra. And I have kids, and I'm making dinner right now, actually, and I am trying to keep the food that's going into our family made with love and made with Reiki and beautiful energy, and also to have variations in it. And so that way there's complexity and flavor and love. And I do that through the chakra system. So when you do the program, I really don't have any rules. You can do it however you like. But what most people do, it's a 7 module program. So one day, 1 week, 1 month for the root chakra, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month for the sacral, and so on and so forth. And you choose. So when you're doing the program, I have an online course with tons of video tutorials and, things for you to watch and listen and think about in terms of subtle energy, crystals, and sounds. But really, it's a framework for you to understand the chakra and then also detox and connect to it through sound and food and frequency. And food is frequency. So thus. There's a beautiful book called the Rainbow Diet, which was written in the 1970s, which is very much so about this. There's when I first started doing this, there were no books about it. I just kind of did it intuitively. There's a lot of resources out there now, though, so that's great. But the way that I do the program is once a month. We have a Zoom call, which is like a Q&A, a group healing session, and each month has a theme. And I start in January as foundations and intentions, and really kind of, rebooting. I am not on board with the whole resolutions, rah, 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 go, go, go. In January, if you look out in Mother Nature in New England where I live, nothing's growing. So there's no need to force yourself to go out to be, to do. I just don't feel that intuitively. I'm much more hibernating and resting and healing and connecting, and feeling before I'm building. And so January for me is really about that. It's feeling. It's using my heart as a compass. What do I want to do in this year? What do I want to create? Who do I want to be? What's my theme going to be? So instead of saying, I'm going to lose weight, I'll say my theme is physical embodiment and loving my body. That's something that you can always go back to, whether you had a good day or a bad day, whether you went to the gym or whether you didn't eat healthy. You can still go back to, okay, tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to embody and self-care. And so same thing with this program. Once a month, we start off, we have a theme. It usually tends to go, January is kind of like the foundations, getting ready, thinking about what this year will be, planting the seeds. And then February is the root chakra. March is sacral, April, solar plexus, and, so forth, so on. And then towards the latter half of the year, it tends to be for people that are in my Chakra Embodiment 2.0 class, where we're working on the higher chakras. And instead of the 7 chakras, there's so many chakras, but there's 7 main chakras in your chakral column, your spinal column, and then there's 12 considered to be in your auric body, and then there's a whole bunch of others all over your body and energetically. But 12 is the main energetic way. So those Q&As are for everybody. If you've gone through the program as an alumni, you are welcome to come on. If you are new to the program, you are welcome to come on. Even if you're choosing to do the program in 7 days and just, binge watch it and go through, then you're good. You can still just hop on the calls, because once you're part of my program, I consider you part of my community. And so then you hop on to the Zoom call the third Thursday of every month at 6:45, and we basically, where are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? What's moving with you? And I will usually do some kind of quantum clearing or healing or Reiki, depending on who's here. And then we will be able to ask questions and talk about our spiritual journey and what's working and what's not, and just have that kind of community connection for each other, which I think is so, so, so wonderful. And so I invite you all to check out my website. I have the Chakra Embodiment. It's an online program. In full disclosure, there is a lot of information out there. I've been doing this, for so many years that I've gotten the feedback it's a little bit much. So, there's no rules with my program. Do what feels right. If you're really into crystals, just watch the crystal videos. If you're really into food, just watch the food videos. It's really up to you. And then hop on the Zoom calls. We can have that community connection. I do highly recommend that everybody, and this is the same, there's the same discounted price for alumni and new students, to do a chakra embodiment healing program with me, where you book a package of 7 Crystalline Soma Healing Method sessions, and we focus on each chakra as we go. So the first session would be focused on, foundations and root chakra, and then we would move from there. And that's a beautiful way to not only do a program and stay mindful and have a community, but also, yes, and to have that healing aspect to go hand in hand with it. So that being said, I am making a beautiful meal tonight for my family with love. Just as an integration thing for those of you that have gone through the program, after you've spent, let's say, a month doing the root chakra and you spent 7 months going through the whole program, a lot of people ask me, well, how do you integrate? And what I do is, after I focus 1 month on each chakra, the latter half of the month is basically I rotate every day. So for me, Saturday and Sunday are going to be root chakras because I have family and I want to be able to cook whatever anybody wants and not have any doubts or hesitation in it. And then the crown and third eye will be combined as well. And so that way you can have a beautiful detox, a beautiful flow. Helps me meal plan because I do a lot. I'm very budget conscious and I do a lot of meal planning and I do my chakras in mind. So for example, the root chakra, pretty much eat anything, including red meat or pork. And then sacral chakra, you get rid of all the red meat and you're just doing chicken. And then the solar plexus is going to be just fish. And then the heart chakra is vegetarian. And then the throat chakra is soups and stews. Third eye crown, I usually do vegan or fasting. And it's just a beautiful way of being able to keep a flow in our diet, keep the food different, lighten up throughout the end of the week so you're not eating heavy, heavy food all the times. And just for me, it gives me a little bit of extra love when I'm making the meals for my family and when I'm planning the meals where I think, oh, today's the heart chakra day, how wonderful, or today's the throat chakra, how are we singing our songs and how are we speaking our truths and just kind of embodying that and connecting in. So this was just a quick little recap, a touch base. For any of my alumni, please reach out to me. I want to get you on my website and have access to the program. And hopefully you can start hopping in on the Zoom calls so we can create a community. Please, please, please reboot, do the program again, get your friends involved. The more, the merrier. I wish you all the best. Bye. See you soon.